All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Rise and Grind Mastermind call. This call was started September 8th, 2016. If you're wondering who is speaking, my name is Timeka Williams. This call was started September 8th, 2016 by myself and 4 other people who are entrepreneurs. We have an attorney. We have some authors, but everyone is business owners, basically. And we started this with a total mastermind group of 5 people. If you are unsure, what is the Rise and Grind Mastermind call about? Basically, no individual has sufficient experience, education, native ability, and knowledge to assure accumulation of great fortune without the cooperation of other people. What we are doing is joining like minds together, people who feel like there is room for me to grow. You have to understand that you will not have all the knowledge and ability that you need to seek out and accumulate great fortune. But you do need to associate yourself with like minds to find a solution to whatever problem there is. For example, you may not be the best internet marketer in the world, but there should be someone that you associate with on your team to accumulate a fortune that is better than you. You may be you may be more of a people person. So it is good to have a person to teach you people skills on your team, someone that you associate with that will help make you better, or to fill that gap when it comes to knowledge that you don't specifically have. Today's topic is going to be about innovation. If you are not familiar with the term innovate is basically to create. But don't get create with invent. When you innovate, you are not inventing anything. Basically, you're creating a new way to do a certain thing, and I'm going to give you an example in a moment. We're going to talk about innovation. Innovation is basically creating a better way to do something, where you're using your creativity. When we talk about innovation, you need to understand that there is nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun, but you can find a new way to do something more effectively, and I'm going to give you a few examples. I'm going to give you a little background on myself as an entrepreneur. I quit my job almost 7 years ago in retail and the military, and I wanted to just step out on faith, which is exactly what it is. It's nothing else but faith, because when you quit a job, there is nobody writing a specific amount for a specific amount that you're supposed to be getting on daily, weekly, monthly basis. When you step out on faith to work for yourself, it's specifically faith. You're stepping out with a plan. Hopefully you have a plan, because I had a plan to put a certain business plan in order and to just do what I do. So when I stepped out on faith, I started a home child care, which led to a child care center. From there, I've done a variety of little small things, but everything that I wanted to do, like bookkeeping, bartending, jewelry company. Now I just quit the child care business to do CPR and real estate, eventually real estate, so on and so forth. But the 6 years has been a very challenging 6 years. It has been a lot of running into brick walls, so on and so forth. But when you take whatever leap of faith that you want to, please make sure that you have a set plan in action, because it's not meant to be easy by a long shot, and everything is faith. So going back to innovation, as an entrepreneur or whatever you want to do in life, make sure that you add your own creative twist on it. Because if you realize in this area of technology, what we are getting is basically more effective ways to communicate. No one has invented communication. So with the cell phones and with the way we're communicating on the internet, it's basically all innovation in a nutshell. So when you step out on faith and you want to create something, let's say, for example, you want to do a T-shirt business. There's a ton of T-shirt business out here in the universe, but you have to put your creative twist on it. And what you have to understand is God made each and every last one of us specifically different. So there's some kind of creative bone, even if you're on somebody's payroll today, that makes you different than the next employee who could do the same job. Because of the fact that you're different, you bring some kind of creative twist to it. So it's very important when I'm talking on this topic of innovation, that even if you're in the same industry as someone else, your competitor, you have to put a creative twist on whatever it is that you do to make yourself stand out. Even if you're providing the same service as someone else, you do not do it the same way. So every day when you go about your business, you're writing a desired plan for what you're meant to set out. You look at how you are creative against your competitors. When you lose your innovation or you're struggling to find your innovation, it's basically you're losing your creativity. When you wake up each morning, motivation is temporary, but innovation is something that is consistently worked on, and it can be permanently implanted into your brain because you have to always understand, I am different. I am special. I bring something different to the table. So innovation is very important. When you're writing anything down, when you're thinking of yourself, always think of yourself not from a motivation standpoint as far as how amped up I am about a certain subject, but how can I innovate this? How can I put my twist on it, my specific touch on it to make it different? On some of the rest of the phone calls, since this is a mastermind group and we're using a lot of the techniques of Think and Grow Rich, if you're not familiar with Think and Grow Rich, listen to some of our other calls on SoundCloud. We talk about Chapter 1. We talk about Chapter 2. We talk about Chapter 3. But Chapter 4 is the chapter on auto-suggestion, self-suggestion. That basically means that whatever it is that you specifically believe, it's not up to someone to tell you what you are, who you are, what you are going to do. You have to state who you are to yourself until you believe it. If you are not that millionaire yet, but you want to be that millionaire, you have to state in your brain, I am, I am, I am. It may be that you need to write it down on paper, a specific date, a specific time that you want to have an accumulation of wealth. But what you have to understand with auto-suggestion, whether you need to write it down on paper 100 times or you need to write it down once and read it 2, 3, 4 times a day, if you need to underline it with pencil, if you need to blow it up and put it on a vision board, you have to force yourself to believe whatever it is that you want to believe about yourself before it will take place, before it will take action in your life. Because if you don't believe it with a burning desire, Napoleon Hill actually says in the chapter of auto-suggestion, read this chapter every night until you believe that these principles work. Because he already instructed you in chapter 1, 2, 3, write the vision down. Believe the vision. If you have a hard time believing after you've read it morning, noon, and night, you still don't believe who you are, the principles work because he gives so many examples on whether these principles work or not. Basically, auto-suggestion is a self-suggestion. It's something that you're telling yourself, I am, I am, I am. I will accumulate this specific wealth by doing this specific thing by this specific date. So it works. And no matter what you do in life, if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. You're going to let life run you. And the only thing in life that goes with the flow is dead fish. We create our own destination. We create our own beliefs. That's what separates America from a lot of the different countries. We're somewhat focused. The world is going to go on, but if you don't have a specific plan for your life, then the world will have a plan for you. So basically, auto-suggestion, self-suggestion, all this can be built up into faith. You have to believe it will happen, and you have to consistently repeat it. And you must have a burning desire. If you're not sure what a burning desire is, imagine yourself as an employee, and your job is giving you a date that this company is going to close. You either wait till you have no money, you either wait till you have no money to feed your family, you either wait till you get your foreclosure notice or your eviction notice to find out what to do, or you have a burning desire to put a plan in action so you can stay on course. Burning desire is, I have to do this no matter what. I have to get this done. I have to take care of my family. I have to feed myself. I have to provide the basic resources for myself. Chapter 5 is what basically innovation, what we're covering today, and what the purpose of a mastermind group. In this mastermind group, I talk to the people in this mastermind group almost every day, some of these people every day. Everyone needs to be associated with a team of like-minded individuals who want to see you grow. If you don't feel you are the sum, like Warren Buffett said, show me your 5 friends, I'll show you your future. If you have to associate and say things like Warren Buffett, Oprah. If you can't think of anybody who will be a millionaire, if you don't have any millionaires in your circle, if you're talking to people on a consistent basis who mean you no good, remove them out your circle, because that's the purpose of this mastermind group. We have a Facebook, an Instagram, a Twitter. So if there's any specific topics, of course, I won't be the only person talking on this call. I'm supposed to be talking on Monday, which once again, my name is Timeka Williams. We have Randolph Mapp talking on Tuesday. Charles Wardlaw is supposed to be doing the call today, so he was unable to do the call. He's an attorney here in Atlanta, Georgia. He's going to do the call going forth every Wednesday. Thursday, we have Shayna Isaac. Friday, we have April Gaddison. So between all of us, we have an attorney. The rest of us are entrepreneurs, authors, and every entrepreneur on the call owns multiple businesses. So it's very important that you understand that you're not at your top level of growth when you listen to this call. So everyone can learn something from someone, even us speaking amongst the calls on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to go back and listen to the call. We're going to go back and listen to each other's call, because all of us within this mastermind group that we have, all of us can learn specialized knowledge from each other. I'm going to give an example. Back in the early 1900s, there's a person named Henry Ford. I'm sure you know who Henry Ford is if you're familiar with the Ford vehicles that are going around here. Back in World War, there was a Chicago newspaper published, and they called Henry Ford ignorant. Henry Ford got so mad that he took this Chicago newspaper to court, and he sued them because he didn't feel like you should be posting that I'm ignorant. I'm one of the wealthiest men in the world, and you have the audacity to call me ignorant. They called Henry Ford ignorant because he only had a 6th grade education. Please believe that when you make it to a certain level of wealth, there is a certain level of hate. People are going to accuse you of stealing. The IRS may be after you, investigating how did you accumulate this wealth. People are going to be accusing you of worshiping the devil, so on and so forth. This was the same hate that Henry Ford was getting thrown at him. So he took them to court, and the lawyer was asking him questions like, tell us about the rebellion of 1776. He didn't know. They were asking him questions about history. They were asking him questions about science. He didn't know he had a 6th grade education. So they're saying, well, you are ignorant. You're suing this Chicago newspaper for calling you ignorant, but you are, and you don't know any of the questions that I'm asking you. Mr. Ford got so tired of the question that he leaned over, he pointed his finger at the lawyer, and he said, why would I want to know the answers to your foolish questions? He said, I have a row of electronic push buttons on my desk. I can get a multitude of men to come with the push of a freaking button to answer any of the questions that you're throwing at me. So how is that ignorant? I think that makes me one of the smartest people in here. That's how I accumulated my wealth. At that point, the court was like basically in awe, because you do not need to know everything to have wealth. You need to associate with a team of people so they know where to get it from. Henry Ford, when he was telling people to produce the engines, he didn't know how to make the engines. He said he got a team of people who specialized in this. And he said, hey, I want you to make the 8-cylinder engine. They said, nah, we don't think this can be done. He said, okay, that's fine, but I need you to make it. Well, we don't think this can be. Okay, well, here's the money to get it done, and I want you to get it done. They got it done. You have to understand you don't need to know everything. And if you're out here getting degrees, you're out here getting general knowledge, understand general knowledge is specifically that. America is making money off of general knowledge. Every day we should be getting educated, but you need to make sure whatever kind of education you're getting, it is specialized knowledge for whatever it is that you need to do. If you don't know what specialized knowledge is, sometimes you can get a simple Kindle ebook about marketing, because all you need to do is understand how to market your business. You may get a simple Kindle ebook about, say, for example, you're in the T-shirt business and you need to know how to create a logo. You might need to know, how do I write and create this logo, or where do I get my equipment or supplies from? Never go with America's flow of just getting general knowledge, because after you get all this English, biology, social stuff, all this stuff, you're going to be left lost, which is the plan in certain situations. If you understand, you read the book Think and Grow Rich, he gives tons of examples about Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie, he said he didn't even know anything about the steel business. He knew how to get the people involved to become one of the wealthiest men at that time. A lot of people don't know all the areas of their business. Everybody can't be a Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry said he knows how to do everything from be the janitor, because he was the janitor, how to be the producer, because he was the producer, writer, he is the writer. He's done everything in his discipline. That doesn't work for everyone. Everyone didn't accumulate their wealth from knowing everything. That's the purpose of a mastermind group. You don't have to have all of the knowledge. If you think you're going to be a know-it-all, you got to understand God blesses us through people. We are basically magnets. So if you're living your life right, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to be surprised. Well, you may or may not be surprised, but people are going to be attracted to you. People are going to come to you. People are going to ask you questions, and people are going to want to give you information and give you things because they're attracted to the vibe and the energy that you're giving out. If you ever wonder why things are going wrong every day, why people always bring drama to you, drama-filled stories, why does all this bad stuff come your way? Because that's your thought pattern. You have to consistently put good things out in your thoughts, good things. You cannot, if you don't control your thoughts and you're thinking negative, you're thinking sickness, you're thinking worry, you're thinking fear on a consistent basis, you are going to attract those things. So it's very important that you understand 6th grade education, college dropout. Research a lot, I'm not saying all, but research a lot of people who have accumulated great wealth. 9 times out of 10, they didn't have to have a doctorate degree in general subjects. They just had to have the specialized knowledge in the areas where they needed the specialized knowledge. That is the reason of a mastermind group. That's the reason why this call was started. If you have specific subjects, specific things you want us to talk about, let us know. I've been talking for 21 minutes. I'm going ahead and start to end this call. Make sure you read Think and Grow Rich. It's a book by Napoleon Hill. We've already talked about chapters 1. Chapter 2, go over desire. Basically, that's the first step towards riches. Know what you want. If it's money that you want, know the exact amount. Know what you intend to give for it. Have a definite date, a definite plan, a statement of desire. Read it every day. Affirm to yourself. If you're not sure what an affirmation is, the affirmations start with I am. I am the lender and not the borrower. I am the head and not the tail. I am successful. I am happy. I am humble. I am strong. I am wealthy. I want to thank you for joining this call. I want to thank you for listening, whether you're listening on SoundCloud or whether you're listening on the replay. If you have any questions, if you still don't understand that you do not need to be perfect to inspire people. Let people be inspired by how you deal with your imperfections. Acknowledge your imperfections. Take hold of them. You don't need to be everything. You don't need to be perfect to inspire someone. Be always open and willing to learn. A lot of times we can learn a lot from a person's failures on how not to fail. We can learn a lot from a person's success but innovate. Think about the title of this call, innovation. You're not inventing how to do a certain thing. You're just being creative. So I want all of y'all who are listening to this call today, just go out and be creative. Thank you so very much, and y'all have a nice day.